Hi, what I'd like to show you is how this browser sync integration into the Yale Office Generator works. And you see here on the right side you see my Outlook Web Access, and on the left side you see my code editor. And first let me show you what I did on the gulp file to integrate browser sync into the Yale Office Generator. So first I imported browser sync, the npm package, and then I defined a variable named reload. This is just for convenience because I don't want to write browsersync.reload throughout my gulp file all the time. And then the major part was done here in the gulp serve static task. So browser sync starts the local web server, and I pass in here some variables or some settings for my web server. So for example here the port, that is 8443. This is exact the same port that the default Yale Office Generator uses, and I told the web server to use HTTPS instead of HTTP. This comes built into browser sync, so you can always switch between HTTP and HTTPS. But in our case it is required to use an add-in, you need to use HTTPS. And the last thing I did, or is important, is here directory set to true. This will list all the directories in my source code directory, because otherwise this is disabled by default. The first part here in the serve static task just launches the web server, and here down here the gulp watches for file changes on JavaScript files, on HTML files, or in CSS file. And when some of those files was changed, then it automatically refreshed the browser. So let me show you how this works. So the first thing, I switch to my console, start the web server via gulp serve static. And the first thing you might notice in a bit is here you have two access URLs up here. So you have the web server bound to localhost, but you have it also automatically bound to your current IP address. This is pretty useful because when you like to test other devices on a network, what you need to do is simply change the URL in the manifest demo.yeoman in my case. So localhost, switch it to the IP address, then you automatically can test different devices from on your network there as well. You see here on the right side the web server was launched, and all the code that we use in this demo is inside the app read directory, and then in the home. So we have here our home HTML that is basically embedded in the Outlook Web Access. So let me show you how this works. So I fire up my application here. Move this a little bit over here. So yeah, you see here the HTML included. And this is exactly the same HTML that you see here. You see here it is working, so the subject is set to my subject of the mail, and you see here who the sender of this message is. Now let's open up the app.css file, change a bit here, yellow, the background for example to yellow, and as you see here in the console it tells me reloading browser, and the add-in is automatically refreshed and the new yellow background is applied to my add-in. So change it to pink, save it, and it automatically refreshes itself to pink. Not only here in this add-in, it also changes here on the web server too. And as I told you before, by using this watches, it works with JavaScript, it works with HTML files, and it works with CSS files. So let's go into the home HTML, add here a heading that says Hello Office, save it, and you see here the heading was automatically injected into my add-in. Once again, delete some of the content here, save the file. Console window says automatically reloading browser, and in the Office Web Access you see that this content was removed automatically. This saves a lot of time during development, because otherwise you have to close down the add-in and open it up, close it, open it up, or refresh the whole browser window. And with Browser Sync, this will be done automatically for you by the web server. So I think it's pretty useful, and it saves a lot of time during development of add-ins.